Hello, ladies.
Hello. Hi.
All right, we're here with Kristen, Alyssa, and Charlotte. And Kristen is playing young Jane and a schoolgirl as well, and Alyssa is a schoolgirl, and Charlotte is playing Adele and a schoolgirl. Are you guys enjoying the show?
Yeah, a lot. It's really, really
a lot,
fun.
a lot.
I know the show is very different than anything that you've done it, that you've been in. What are some of the differences, for this show compared to, say, Camp Rock, which, a couple of you just did?
Well, like the dialect and the orchestra.
The length of the show is obviously, it's a lot longer than Camp Rock was.
Jane Eyre is like slow and like
Long.
And Jane Eyre is really, really sad and depressing, and like Camp Rock was all, oh yeah, party! And so in Jane Eyre,
You guys enjoyed being in the production with our senior production company students?
Yeah, it's a lot different.
Because you're challenged because they have a more like mature sounding voice, and then you're there and it's kind of squeaky sounding, like not squeaky but like childish, and so it's like you have to mature your voice in some way, but you still have to keep it little kiddish kind of. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then you
It's
like
just kind
come
of-
and they're all like singing like and harmonizing and all they're like, oh.
And
And
it's
then
harder.
like, instead of saying this is group 1, group 2, and group 3, you're like sopranos, altos, and like baritones or something.
and something else.
Tenors?
Yeah,
Tenors.
Those two.
So do you feel like you are gaining experience and it's strengthening you as performers to perform alongside with them?
I think so.
Yes, because they've been in more shows, and so we can like look at them and see where they are good and where they're bad. Not that they're bad in much.
Emily, tell us what character you are playing in the show.
Blanche Ingram.
And which 2 performances are you in?
The Friday night and the Saturday afternoon.
Okay, tell us a little bit about Blanche's character.
Okay, Blanche is a very bratty, spoiled, rich aristocrat woman, and she's like the character who wants to marry Rochester. And she's very materialistic and very selfish, and she doesn't care about anybody but herself and money,
So have you enjoyed playing her?
Yes, it's really different to play somebody who's like mean, and I've always played like the nice one.
So what do you think has been the most challenging part of this musical?
The music, because it's very different than anything we've ever done, and it's definitely a lot more difficult than like any other show.
And you've been doing some research on the hair and helping everyone prepare their hair for the show. So tell us a little bit about the different hairstyles for Jane Eyre.
Most of it is very simple, but it's not, like no one ever really wore their hair down. Everything is up. Like the tops of your ears can't like show. It's like really weird, like random things. But a lot of like the upper class women had more elaborate hairstyles, and the lower class just had like simple buns and middle parts and stuff like that.
Have you enjoyed working on the hair for this show?
Yes, I love it. It does get stressful, but it's a lot of fun.
So this is your last show with us. You're graduated and you're moving on to bigger and better things. So how do you feel about this being your last one?
It's sad. I'm gonna miss it, but it's been fun while it lasted.
So under cover of stroking my wounded pride, you stick a sly penknife beneath my ear. Go on. What faults do you find with me, pray?
Mr. Rochester, allow me to disown my previous answer. I intended no insult. It was only a blunder.
And you shall be answerable for it. Go on. Criticize me. Does my forehead not please you? Am I a fool?
Far from it, but would you think me rude if I asked in return? Are you a philanthropist?
There again, another stick
All
of
right,
the
we are
penknife.
here with Melanie and Parker, and they are playing Jane in Rochester. Tell us which 2 shows you are playing those roles in.
Friday night at 7.
Saturday afternoon at 2.
All right. So talk to us a little bit about what it's like to play Jane in Rochester.
Well, Jane Eyre is extremely dark, and it's kind of a sad and moody show, and so you really have to kind of prepare yourself mentally for the heartbreak of it, because it's a sad show. Well, I mean, the history of the show and the history of the characters is just so deep, and it's so what's the word? I can't think of the word. So defined, I guess you could say, in the show is that you just have to. You have to try and express all those emotions and all that past history out on the stage in your performance, and it's a tough thing while trying to do that, and lines and blocking and music and just everything, including the orchestra, which is it's a tough show.
In that, because it's not just like your average musical that people may or may not know. It's a story with a huge history with characters people have connected to and expect certain things when they come to see the show.
Yes. It's not really a show you can just pick up and start doing. You have to.
It's also interesting because at Artworks I've never attempted a show that is this serious, and so it's always been like Grease, Beauty and the Beast, happy fun songs and everything like that, and it's fun happy choreography, and then there's Jane Eyre and it's deep in my secret soul, it's so angsty half the time, and it's different. I like it a lot, but it's just really different, and it's kind of fun to try something new. It's a challenge, and it's pretty difficult. I'd say it's more difficult to be in a drama than it is to be in a comedy family show kind of thing.
What do you think has been the most challenging part of the musical?
The music for me, not as much the singing, but keeping in character and staying with the emotions that the previous scene's dialogue just started up, and having to follow throughout the music, because sometimes we sing 2 or 3 songs in a row without any dialogue, so you have to adapt and change your emotional stature for each song. And
for me, I think the music is challenging, but for me I think the hardest part is what I'm doing when I'm not talking or singing, with my facial expressions and stuff like that, reacting to other people, because there are a lot of moments when Jane just stands there. In the beginning, she stands there and watches her younger self. Later on, she stands there while Rochester sings 20-minute long songs to her.
I know.
It's ridiculous, but she just has to take it all in, and I have to be able to portray that, and 7 minutes of just standing in one spot and showing everything with my face is the most challenging thing I've ever done. So I think that's probably the hardest part for me, is just figuring out what to do with myself in the extra time. But I think I could.
I see a captive bird who hears beyond the bars. A restless, vivid thing